Hello and welcome back to the finishing line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets. I'm back from my hiatus. Tom is late, so that pretty much means everything is the same as normal.
Speak of the devil.
We love you, Brentford. We do. We love you, Brentford. We do. God, Brentford.
We are the worst team in the world, and you're still only 2 points ahead of us.
Correct. 2 games. Liverpool let us down. I would have given this a bit more large, even though wearing a Brentford jersey and singing "We Love You, Brentford" is pretty large. If Liverpool would have won last night, but not to be.
Or we do.
Jersey's too big for you, Tom.
It is too big for me, Dave. That's all your hard PT sessions, to be fair.
How's the body after it?
Yeah, fine now. I'll be sore tomorrow, though. Thanks to Dave as well. Just give Dave a little shout out, Andrew. All those OLR fitness stories he puts on Instagram. He finally put me on it. So I'd been benching 40 kgs, not too bad for a beginner. So what does Dave put up? I don't even know what they're called. When you sit there and sat on the thing, lifting it over my head. What's that called, Dave?
Strict overhead press, yeah.
Right, okay. Fantastic. So he puts that up with me just doing it with the bar. No fecking weights on the side of it.
You know, that's one of the hardest movements you can do. Like, I would barely be able to do 40 kilos, I'd say.
It was very hard. I found that it was a lot harder than the 40 kg bench press, but Jesus. I look like a tool.
Proud of you.
Thanks, Andrew.
I even tagged Pimlico Racing.
I did, just to get the full effect of the no weights arm push-up.
It's the new Rogue Invisible weights plates.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody that messaged me about my operation and why I was gone.
Oh, God love you.
I'm okay anyway. I won't have results till next week, but I'm alive and kicking. And
results are he's still a prick.
Live and kicking, and me and Andrew had a actually good game of golf again today. I did not win yet again, but I can safely say I'm getting better. I am, aren't I?
Yeah, in fairness to me, is now.
It was actually an enjoyable and quite fair game this morning because, bar the first hole, I was drinking coffee and I couldn't give a fuck.
I've never seen a man try to multitask playing golf, drink, and text at the one time.
I was doing everything. I was rushing.
He had his trolley in one hand. He had a recovery club in this hand with a phone and with a cup of coffee walking down the forest, and I was like, if he doesn't drop that, I'm going to drop him.
I came alive then and we had a good old game. Tom, did you know how the Tremor Festival go for you?
It's
like saying Voldemort and Harry Potter.
It went as well as Man United's away trip to Brentford, basically.
Good so.
We were only 2-0 down, unlike United, who went 4-0 down. They ran crackers, in fairness. Cotty ran an absolute stormer. Wanted to get her around safely after falling last time. And I think we actually learned that's probably the way to ride her. She's always normally up at the pace. But I think dropping her in and letting her... I've never in any of her races seen her finish so fast. So, if she was... maybe I don't know, another day she maybe could have even won that race. So I think if we ride her like that again, I think we'll be well away. And then poor old Baron Wild didn't deserve that. He's 2 miles around there is a little bit tight for him, which we probably thought going there. We hoped the cheap pieces would liven him up a little bit. But if anybody saw him in the parade ring, he is the most relaxed horse you will ever meet in your life. But jumped well enough on the hole, and Rachel was just going for a long one to try and keep him competitive, and he just clipped the top bar. But thankfully, he's okay. So yeah, he'll live to fight another day.
If Aaron Wild was a flat horse, he'd be high definition. He's just a bit slow, wouldn't he? You'll get there though. 3 miles, Tom.
And if he's a footballer, he'd be Darren Nunes, headbutting fucking grounds like headbutting people.
3 miles in a fence. I can see him now, maybe 3 years' time, 4 years, winning a Midlands Grand National.
No, he'll win one of his favourite races in a few years, a Veterans Chase.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Yeah, fences 3 miles, maybe 3 miles 6.
He was
go for 4.5 miles.
He was placed numerous times, and I think he won over 7 as a 2-year-old, and then he was second in Sligo and would have been up in another stride over a mile 2. And I don't know where that speed came from, but
that was during COVID. Everything was fucking.
I was wind assisted.
Regards United and Tom's Brentford jersey, we could do a whole podcast on that, but it's not. It's not a football podcast.
We went on a good half an hour rant in your office there.
But yeah, United.
The highlights, the Scott McTominay highlights are genuinely one of the funniest football games.
I've seen it, like, and for fuck's sake.
But you could.
How can you not pass the ball 5 yards, man? You're getting paid like 50 grand a week. It's there to there. He's in front of you. You're looking at him. I passed it that way, not over the line. Yeah, man, the new fella left back that side from just shook his head and walked away. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I doing here?
But you can make highlights off the ball, to be honest.
Bruno would want to. He was a flash in the pan. He's just doing nothing now, but he's like fucking. Do you know what he is? A cheap version of Pogba.
I support Bolton anyway.
That's what he is. Cheap version of Pogba. Ronaldo doesn't want to be there, and I won't blame him. I'd fuck off out there as quick as I could.
Sam Allardyce, Big Sam, Bolton,
and
JJ Okocha.
Yeah, man.
Van Campo.
Oh, what a legend! So good they named him twice. Your man centre half. You're an inch taller than me. Why are you doing playing centre half? I could say the same. I was a goalkeeper.
Is Tom playing in 5-a-side on Wednesdays?
Running into walls.
Ben
Mead didn't even have to. He didn't have to jump. He had to make himself smaller to head the ball into the goal. Tom's had to see a
ghost.
No, do you know what that is now?
Javi Martinez.
Ask McVeese had to get loose.
No, I've got a bird feeder, and I don't know.
There's a bird on us.
No, they've spun it around. There's 3 things hanging off it, and one of them was that way this morning. Now it's spun that way. I don't know. Lads, tell you a story now before we get into the racing. I got my hedge cut today out in the back garden. Oh my god! So normally to do this thing is absolute torture. It takes 2 days. You're covered in cuts. You're absolutely wrecked from lifting a bloody hedge cutter.
First off, what way do you cut hedges?
You're not supposed to be in the hedge.
You're not meant to be in the hedge or cutting yourself.
Oh, it's so wide that you can't get across. This has been my problem. I've been trying to get it down in height, but you can't get across because it's so big. So I was like, oh look. So neighbours were getting some hedge cutter guy in today with a proper hedge cutter. So I said, look, to be honest, I don't care how much. They didn't know how much it cost. I don't care how much it costs. I'm doing it. And it came back €100. The best €100 I have ever spent or will ever spend in my life. So I don't even know who he was. Didn't even see him because I wasn't here today. But hedge cutter guy, you're a legend. Hope you enjoy £100.
Is it better than €100 to put on an Ebor to win the Arc?
Definitely, Dave. Definitely.
Yeah. Say so.
Never back in an Ebor.
I talked myself into this.
Go on, Tom.
Rather than letting
you really win. Go on, Tom.
Rather than letting you talk me into it. I'm never doing that.
Him.
It was him. Yeah, that's what I mean. He talked me into it.
Anyway, we are live tonight because the York Festival, the last big summer festival, which means the jumps, is around the corner.
Thanks be to
Thank the Lord Jesus, because although I like the flat, it has not been good in my opinion.
When is it
this
ever
summer?
Good?
It's been flat.
Hey.
Just above.
No crack.
That's nearly as bad as remember Dublin and Dublin and Dublin and Black.
Dublin.
That was terrible.
Anyway, we'll touch on. No, it wasn't. It was good. Someone laughed at that. Surely.
Your mother.
Yeah, at least someone did. We'll touch on some of the group races on tomorrow, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. And the Ebor on Saturday. It's usually a good festival. I won the Punters Challenge last year for York. So York,
remember that?
Usually a decent festival for me, but we shall see.
Oh, that was the right crack.
We'll kick on to tomorrow, and the first race we're going to touch on is the Tattersalls Acomb Stakes, a Group 3 for the 2-year-olds, over 7 furlongs. Godolphin have the favourite local dynasty. Millstream, second favourite 3-1. Chaldean, I don't know how to really pronounce that, 11-2. Indestructible. I like that name.
It's not you before you say it.
Probably not really. Doesn't deserve to be called that, but 15-2. Oviedo 10-1 and 11-1 Bar. Tom, you got your bushes trimmed. We'll let you take this first.
Wow. 2-for-1 special.
Wow. Yeah, so look, this is a tricky race, isn't it? I really liked Millstream on debut. I thought he was really, really good at Doncaster. Endeared let the form down a little bit the next day. But I still think he's definitely one to follow, especially in maidens. Yeah, look, I'd be inclined to take the two at the top of the market on. Local Dynasty was obviously massively impressive at Newmarket. And could really have the world at his feet. But the one I'm going to take a chance on is Chaldean of Andrew Balding's, a Frankel colt owned by Juddmonte as well. Black type family, plenty of good horses in there. Built on his debut effort to go and win at Newbury the next day, and I think this is a horse that's just going to go on improving again. Now, look, my worry would be that Local Dynasty is a bit sharper than him. But Chaldean, I think, is one that's definitely going to improve as he comes on for racing. And at 6-1, it's a fair price.
Andrew?
Top 7, Dave. Sorry.
Millstream,
number 7. As Tom said, good debut, win at Doncaster. I thought it ran a better race than it looked at. Would have been Newmarket against Noble Style last time. That was a good run. Kind of raced a bit freely that day, kicked for home, got caught late on. Again, 2-year races here. Again, God only knows which one of them is going to improve beyond the rest of them. 2 runs under the belt. It's going to be a bit more streetwise than the rest. 3-1 in a race like this. Look, I won't be having a bet on it whatsoever, but if I got ahead, I'd pick Millstream. Logan Dynasty done it well on debut. Charlie Appley, William Buick, just banging in winners all season. But Jane Chapel behind the same. She's having a very good season, and I'd give Millstream a very good chance to win this.
Yeah, for me, none of them really properly stand out. I think the top 3 are decent enough. And I'd probably side with the outsider of the top 3, same as Tom, the Frankel colt. If the Godolphin favourite gets heavily backed in the morning, it's probably a sign that they think he's good, but there's probably better than him out there. Now he'll end up winning the Guineas or something next year after me saying that. Screenshot. Voice record.
Could be as bad as I wouldn't back Thomas Darby at 500 to 1 when he goes off and wins.
I was right about Envy Allen, though.
Yeah, but 4 years later.
3 o'clock at York is the next
when
one.
United lost the league, you could have said United are going to be shit now because Ferguson gone. A few years later, look at that, you're right.
Yeah, they were shit from the start. The Great Voltigeur Stakes, a Group 2 for the Colts and Geldings, and usually a trial for the St. Ledger, which is in maybe 6 weeks' time.
Who cares?
Secret State is favourite, who's won a couple of handicaps and done it fairly well. Again for Godolphin, 9-4. Coolmore have Acal, 11-4. Dover Legend, who Andrew will put up, is at 10-3. Walk of Stars, another Godolphin colt, 9-2. El Bodegon, who's run well in France in some decent Group 1s, 12-1. And Grand Alliance, a complete outsider, at 28-1. Andrew, you can go first. Dover Legend, John Ferguson, runs well, lots of heart, will win. That about right?
Yeah, about right.
Yeah.
It's had a very good season. 2 wins, 2 seconds. They've been in good races. He was beaten ahead by Secret State at Royal Ascot, getting £4 that day. But I think he's after coming on again since that run. Secret State has obviously gone in again. Duval Legend won the time after that, but I think his run last time out behind New London under a penalty, to me that's up there with the best form. I don't think he doesn't need to find much with Secret State, even off level weights this time. James Ferguson horse have run really well all season. Daniel Muscat's in flying form. He had another winner today. I just think as a horse is very progressive 3-year-old and ideal trip. The ground should be ideal for him. Sitting behind the pace, he can drop in. You can ride him anywhere. Strong stayer. I just think the New London form is the best form. I think New London is probably the horse for the St. Leger. But I think the Oval Legend at like 10-3, 7-2. I think that's a decent price.
Tom?
I'm mad keen on one here, actually, which is Acomb. Can't understand why he's not favourite. Really thought he would be. Some good form as a 2-year-old. Broke his maiden down the stall in good enough fashion. Went on to be fourth, not beaten very far in a Group 3 at Newmarket, and was then fourth again in that's Straterium. What's it called, Dave?
Criterium, the St. Cloud, a 2-year-old Group 1 towards the end of the season.
How?
Criterium in St. Cloud, yeah. Obviously had a little issue at the start of the season. We didn't see him till Ascot, but they pitched him straight in the St. James's Palace. Now, look, didn't run his race, and that was 50-1. But I think that kind of showed intent. Then they went to the Curragh as well, then in June, and he absolutely bolted up in a Group 3 over a mile 2, beating Duke de Sessa. The third horse, Rumbles of Thunder, has come out and franked the form, winning a Group 3. And the fifth horse, Bear Story, has come out and been second in a Group 3 as well, and wasn't even beaten very far in a Group 1. So the form is there. I think this horse has the most potential out of a lot of them, especially up in trip now to a mile 4. It's by Galileo. The dam is a half sister to Latrobe, Joseph's Irish Derby winner, who stayed very well, and as well as Pink Dogwood, who also stayed very well. So the stamina is in the pedigree. Definitely looks like he wants to stay, like he wants a trip. Lightly raced. Not sure why he's not favourite, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same as Tom. That horse was highly tried last year and was probably forgotten about because we hadn't seen him till Royal Ascot. I don't know how we were up the Curragh that day. I don't know how Aidan O'Brien horse went off 20-1.
So I think Around had a lot to do with that on that day.
The way the course was riding, it was favouring horses that went from the front, but I reckon they'll do the same again tomorrow. And the step up and trip seems to suit him. I think 1 mile 4 will even suit him better. And it's just the form of the race itself with Rumble of Thunder coming out, and she done it quite well at I think it was at Cork last weekend. It's just better form than Secret State. Secret State might progress on. I think the others are much of a muchness. El Bodigan looks all right, but I think he needs softer ground. So maybe if they get a bit of rain or they're talking about a thunderstorm, he'd come into it. But yeah, I think Acal's form is just better. So I would side with him, and I think he should be favourite. Okay. 3:35 at York. The main race tomorrow, Group 1, Juddmonte International. One of the best races of the season, usually on the flat. And Boyd is stepping up and trip. He's 9 for 9. He's 4 to 9 tomorrow. That buying money, maybe. Buying money. Mishra is 7 to 2. Native Trail 7 to 1. Dubai Honor, who couldn't even beat Sir Busker, so I just don't know what to do with him. 40 to 1.
Hurdles.
High Definition. Surely he's going to be
second
in JP McManus colour soon, and fucking
Try and Pardon.
No, sure, he's like
5
he's
4 now. He's 4. Fine next year.
Sir Busker then 100 to 1, and Adam Kerr is a non-runner. Tom, is Boyd going to do the business?
Yes. Yeah. I think he'll stay, and I think this is a bit like Honeysuckle, isn't it? And how she was. He doesn't do it massively flashy. So and people are trying and crap the form. So I think everyone's always going to try and take him on. Look, if there's a day he gets beat, it's probably tomorrow. Would I back him at 4-9? No chance. But I do think, gun to my head, to forget the prices, just pick a winner. I think Boyd is the most likely. Mishriff is interesting, obviously, isn't he? Back down in trip. I wouldn't even use the trip as the excuse the last day. He fell out of stalls and it was over from then, really. You're not going to win a Group 1 doing that. And it was just over. He's much better off judged on his Sandown run behind Vidani, where he should have won, really. He's definitely the one that could go and do. He won this by 6 lengths last year. And I think I don't know. Look, I'd probably, if you were made to have a bet, probably play the forecast or something like that. But it's a very good race, because then you've got Native Trail, who, don't forget about him. He was third in that Vidani race, only beaten half a length, and has got some good form this year as well. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he's the most likely winner, but if he's ever going to get beat, I think tomorrow is the day.
Andrew?
Thinks he just wins, step up and trip. Can't see it being a problem whatsoever. The way he races, the way he relaxes, can't see it being a problem whatsoever. As Tom said, look, probably on the style of what Honeysuckle does, doesn't win massively impressively, just does what he has to do. He's by far the best around. Does it how he wants, races easily, finishes the job, and that's it. Mile 2.5, not going to be a problem. Can't see it by the way he's racing. There's nothing saying he's not going to stay. He just wins. What follows him at home? I think Nature Trail will follow him home. The first try at Mile 2 last time. I think now they know he does get it. I think they might change tactics with him and come with a late burst, because I think if they go try to take on Boyd, they're going to end up last. So you're going to be looking at horses that are going to be run to place, like it's a Sour Bus going on them. They're going to be looking to run into a place. But I think, what's the price Native Trail? Are you going off of there?
7-1.
7-1. I think Boyd, Native Trail with the forecast for me. Dubai Honours, they said, look, he's not gone, but he needs to come back with a big performance, high definition. Needs to be in JP colours, as Dave said. Mishriff, don't really like. Yeah, he fell out of the stall last time. He had enough time to get back into it. And Sir Busker could do anything. But Boyd, I think he wins handy, and he's never going to go down as a great just because the way he goes about things.
Yeah, look, he's 1-2, and fair enough. I do think he'll stay, but I actually think he's worth taking on tomorrow with Mishriff.
All right, Kevin Blake.
It's a typical bet like Tom would do at 7-2. I think Mishriff is miles better than the other horses in the race.
I think miles better. He beat Native Trail by what?
If you look through Mishriff, he's back. It's very hard to say. Form. He doesn't seem to run up to the level he can run at Ascot. He's third the last day. Fair enough. It's 1 mile 4 and 1 mile 2 definitely suits him better. Before that, last year in October, ran at Ascot again. He was favourite, didn't run well. He was second in the King George to Adiar. I don't know. He ran okay that time. And then the previous time in Ascot, he was 8th of 10 in the Champion Stakes again. So his form in Ascot's pretty suspect. You look through the rest of the form, it's Group 1 form, running really well, ran well against St. Mark's Basilica last year, ran well against Vidani this year. As Tom mentioned, he's probably up in another stride and maybe didn't get the best of rides that day. David Egan's lost a ride. And the performance he put up in the Juddmonte last year was his best performance. So he clearly likes York. I think he will be hitting the line hard. I do think Boyd will stay. I'm not sure I agree with this whole Boyd only does enough, because he was winning races by like 5 and 6 lengths last year, and I think the standard he's progressed on to, he's facing better horses. So
he doesn't do much when
he's beaten him, but I wouldn't say just impossible to know how much is left in the locker until a horse challenges him. But at 7-2, or someone will up. He's 7-4 without Boyd. I think he's
not. They got the numbers the wrong way around. He's 4-7 without Boyd.
Okay. Well, 7-2 each way. I think it'll be definitely second, and I actually do think he's a right good chance of beating.
That's a sentence I never thought in a million years.
Please, somebody snap that out and send it to me, please.
Oh, yes, dear Lord!
It's just a smart bet, isn't it, Tom?
Yes, Dave. Finally, there's the sun is shining on me here. Look at the room. It's like the Lord has appeared, and Dave has got into the punting world. Go on, Dave.
And I like Native Trail, but I think Vidani's the best of the 3-year-olds. He's over in France. Some of the rest of them are not great.
Fast forward, 3:45 tomorrow. Mistrip, third.
Yeah, sure. Look, that's the joys of betting. I think Boyd is definitely
not just back it to win.
Worth taking on.
If you're taking on one horse, you think in your head you've one horse. In your head, it's 50-50 race according to you. He has to beat Boyd. Just take him on a 7-2.
We're trying to give tips to people. I'd probably just back him to win.
Why are you lying then? Just back him to win then. Don't be lying.
So it's all I want to
be trying to please people and be politically correct.
If I'm going to lose,
do what you say you're going to do.
If I'm going to lose a tenner, I'm going to lose a tenner. Really,
so what? Exactly.
Yeah,
you sound like some other scammer tipsters out there nowadays.
Just say what you're going to do.
And I don't conform to the whole thing that Boyd is anywhere close to Frankel either. Frankel bet way better horses than Boyd has been.
That is true. Yeah, if he goes and wins
way better,
then that's what I'm saying. If he's going to get beat, then tomorrow's the day, or whenever it is. Yeah,
you say celebration. Frankel bet that French horse Sirius des Eagles, who won.
He's a legend, wasn't he?
Copious Group ones. The Juddmonte won. He went past St. Nicholas Abbey, who was an unbelievably good Group 1 horse. Like he was standing still.
Frankel or See the Stars?
The more I watch back Frankel, probably Frankel. I like See the Stars too.
Though. There was more things could go wrong with Frankel element to it. So you're more.
Sure, he's just luring. He raced the wrong way and still managed to be fucking brilliant.
Oh, him or Tom Queally?
I didn't want to say it.
Whoopsies.
He's like a dog with two dicks, though, in all fairness. There's no holding back that.
I just let him run. Clear the bushes and all that jazz.
Anyway.
Tom will get your man to Newmarket now to get rid of them so-called bushes.
We are on to the 150 at York on Thursday, the Lowther Stakes. What's your man's first name? K. Burke?
Carl.
How did that go out of my head? Carl Burke has the favourite, dramatised.
Should have said Kevin. You would have
even
said
money. Mauge is second favourite, 92. Lady Hollywood, who's put up some decent performances at 8-1. Matilda Picot, 10-1, and it's 12-1 bar. Favourites very short, in my opinion, in this. There's some decent enough fillies. Again, 2-year-olds. They all progress at different rates. I'll take this first, and I would side with Mauge. I think her form is better than dramatised. I don't think some of the fillies in the Queen Mary, the dramatised one, probably didn't run up to par that day, because some of the horses towards the end of the field have come out and won, but the actual form isn't as strong as the Albany form, the Meditate and Mauge form. Mauge then came out and won at Newmarket, beat Lazoo. Lazoo then came out and won at Ascot. I'd have them way closer together in the betting. I think Mauge is going to be dramatised.
Yeah, I just agree with you. What you said there, echo it. Form is there. She's done us a bit of a favour last day. Don't see any reason why we should abandon her now. Dramatise B, Mail and C. She's done nothing for the form really since.
She's been terrible.
The form with Meditate to me is by far better than Dramatise form, and I think she should be favourite.
I think Dramatise is a talking horse.
Why is she 7-2?
She's 92 here.
Fantastic.
I like Lady Hollywood too, but she's progressing, but I think she's just an out and out 5 furlong horse.
That Matilda Picot needs a 5 furlong race as well.
It's also Dramatized first time racing at 6 furlongs, so she's not certain to stay. She should stay, but Tom, are you going for the favourite or are you going for Mauge?
And if anything, Mauge might give her a little headbutt on the way up.
She fucking did it last time.
I hate to say it, but it's free in the house for Mauge. Yeah, I agree with you, lads. In fairness, the Foot Dramatized was I think for her price, she's one to take on at that price. I'd have had Mauge at maybe 5-2. So needless to say, I'm going to have a tasty bet on her at 9-2. I think you can get. That form, as you say, Dave, behind Meditate. I know we haven't seen Meditate, but it certainly looks very strong. I think the fifth horse came out and won a Deauville Group 3. And the others haven't run badly either. And then her run at Newmarket behind Lizou, beating Lizou, sorry. Lizou has come out and won the Group 3 at Ascot, beating Kinter. So that form looks equally as strong. So yeah, I think she stays a 6 furlongs well. This is Dramatized's first start at it. And yeah, I think there's no reason here not to be back in Mauge at that price, especially each way. I think you're getting a great bet, really.
Okay, Mauge for all three of us. The 3:35 at York, the main race on Thursday is the Darley Yorkshire Oaks. 1 mile 4 furlongs for the fillies. Alpinista's favourite 2-1. Magical Lagoon 7-2. Tuesday 7-2. Le Petit Coco 5-1.
Your pick and Tom's pick.
Raclette 9-1. Lilac Road 10-1. And Poptronic 20-1.
Le Petit Coucou, Dave.
I'll leave Tom go first this time.
Do you believe in God again, Tom?
Yeah, God had a nice winner there yesterday, didn't he? And to be fair, you normally say for someone with a 4 out of 10 strike rate in the last 21 days that they're absolutely flying, but nope, that's just about God's normal strike rate. So,
Brilliant.
I have no words, lads, to be honest. But
it's not Henry's farm, is it?
Yeah. Henry's having a good year. Why would you warn?
It's so easy. It's so easy.
Henry should go to God's school or wherever God learns.
God's parish.
At the trail.
He should go into his chapel.
Yeah.
The pearly
Teach
gates.
him the ways.
Pearly gates. Please
Learn
teach
God's
me the ways
techniques.
of how to get a 40% strike rate all the time.
I'd say, Dave, you could go in there and set up training and you'd know how to train at 40% strike rate.
I'm a very smart man, Tom.
Exactly. Yeah, look, Le Petit Coco has got a hell of a chance. We shouldn't take the piss so much. I like Paddy too. I think he's a very good trainer. But we do obviously get pissed about God. The sky, lads. If you can see the sky, it's like rays everywhere. It's very fun.
You high or something?
What's that?
You high or something?
No, the sun. I get amazing sunsets out the front of my house. Like absolutely amazing. If the tree was slightly to the left, it would make a very good picture. But what? It's a really good sunset. I get it, and the sun, the sky goes.
The fucking holiday destination show on ITV. What's that called?
Oh no!
Visit Wet. The finishing line, sponsored by Visit Wexford.
Visit fucking Wexford. There.
You can see the harbour from the west.
The tree was just,
and if you come out the back, you'll see a lovely view of the port.
Do you know as well? If you had got that goat, you'd have no problem trimming that bush. He would have
be standing on top.
I wouldn't have one left. That's why. Anyway, back to this. Look, the Petit Coco has a chance. This is a race I won't be having a bet in because you can give Tuesday a chance, you can Magical Lagoon a chance, and to be fair, I think it's very hard to get away from Alpinista. I really don't think she's done a lot wrong. She's what is she? A 4-time Group 1 winner. She was second in this behind Love. This is her test against proper UK and Irish fillies, but I wouldn't be laying her anyway, put it that way. But you can genuinely give the next 3 in the betting a solid chance. So I'll sit this one out, I think.
Andrew?
Not broke, don't fix it, Dave. Magic Lagoon for me. Probably one of the toughest mares in training. It's going to take a hell of a performance to get past her. We've seen the last twice at Royal Ascot and in the Oaks, the Irish Oaks. At the Curragh, she loves battling. Anything that gets next to her just drives her on even more. She got headed at Royal Ascot. She came back and battled on to win again. I still have her down if they're not going to do it now, but as a St. Leger horse a few weeks back. With the right trainer to do it. But the only problem is if someone takes her on up front and they go too fast, it's going to set it up for Alpinista. That's the only problem in this. But if she's left alone up front in a small field like this, I think it's going to take a hell of a performance to get up next to her, let alone get past her. I think 7-2 is a very fair price, but that's the only problem. If someone goes on with her and they get racing too early, it's going to set it up for Alpinista. But she gets her own way, or not too much of a hard time up front, she's going to be very, very hard to get past.
I'd like to see Le Petit Coco win. I think if it's good to firm on Thursday, she'll be reefed out, so won't run. I can't see her run on good to firm. If she doesn't run, I think Alpinista will win. Unreal training to get that horse to win the races she has. She's run well at York before. And Magical Lagoon's form is just a load of shite, to be honest. Ty was second to her at the Curragh, came about 75th.
Sela Rossa, unreal horse. Gets beaten out shit.
Sea Silk Road.
Whatever
about
it's called.
75th in the German Group 1. Cordiga Joe was third. She was beaten by Rumbles of Thunder, God's horse.
I need to get one of them buttons.
The Ribblesdale were Sea Silk Road, who we haven't seen since, and I thought it was going to be good form. History was third in that, was 7th at the Curragh, Aidan O'Brien's horse. Mokadama was 4th in that, was 5th in a Group 3 or something at Newmarket. The form is absolutely fucking useless. So,
on the B, what's put in front of you, Dave?
You can't beat the God's horse. Hallelujah. But I can't see Le Petit Coco run if the ground doesn't turn some way.
It's not raining in England.
Firm. They're talking about a big mad thunderstorm or something. Storm.
Lad, this is how mad the world has gotten, right? The town 15 minutes up the road from me flooded yesterday. It got 40 millimeters of rain in an hour and flooded.
Tell me about that.
It's crazy. And like his house is the sun is shining in the fucking window there.
I know, look at this.
You see Noah in the ark now going past his back window now in a few minutes.
The tree is outside praying for rain.
Let there be light. Is that what they say? Or?
I was laughing at Carty Paintings comment there. I can't wait for you to be back talking about Cheltenham November meeting. This flat shite. I'm fucking flat shite.
So true. You and me both.
Not wrong.
Okay, on to Friday.
Oh, Christ, that frightened me.
2:25, the Weatherbees, Hamilton, Lonsdale Cup Stakes, a Group 2, 2 miles, all the slow boats. Don't have prices here, but Coltrane is entered.
Don't put them up.
Tom likes
Please
Coltrane.
don't put them up.
Coltrane.
Nate the Great, Quickthorn, Reshun, Stradivarius, who they're talking about racing as a 9-year-old.
And you hear what the owner says?
Just leave that horse go and have sex with some fillies and enjoy his retirement.
Even use that big
please.
Schlong of Aries of him.
Tashcan.
I have a theory on that. I reckon he's trying to get that into a decent stud. And I don't think he's having any fucking luck in the world. Because
I think he thinks that Stradivarius should be like getting like miler mares and stuff like that, but like he's not going to get that. He's going to be signing jumps horses, and you may come to terms with it now.
He's going to be getting Lorena.
But then they're saying he's too small for national hunt mares. So I don't know. He's in between a rock and a hard place, I think.
It's like going around the ring like
a pendulum.
Trushan and Mostly Cloudy. Andrew, who are you going for?
Depends what the ground is. Soft ground, Trushan. Good ground, Strat. It's sorry about it. It's as simple as that.
That's fair. Tom?
I don't think that... now, look, it was on the softer side of good, I imagine, but I don't think Alan King will be bullied into running Trushan again. Should also be said, Alan King is 0 out 21 last 14 days, hasn't had a winner in 37 runners, which would be unlike him. So that puts me off mildly. Look, Strad is still showing a high level of ability, isn't he? He got very close to Kyprios. I'd say he's the most likely winner. He's 11-10 though, and I wouldn't necessarily lay him, but I'd be happy to look elsewhere. And honestly, joking aside, Coltrane, I thought the way he travelled through that Goodwood race was unbelievable. Like he was the last one off the bridle basically, and then I think he just I don't know whether he got found out a little bit, or I don't know if he just wasn't used to that level of form. Like those 3 horses ahead of him were the best stayers of the previous generation and this generation. So you're without Kyprios. Trushan's not going to run if it's anywhere near good ground, and you're getting 9-2 on Coltrane, and I think that's a cracking each way bet, absolutely cracking each way bet. So you get 3 places there, happy days, and I swear it's not because we just bought his half brother, who I should add we were looking to Syndicate. We took the decision to move him on, so he has been moved on for a jumping career, but
he's happy. He's after selling a horse for a couple of grand. No wonder he's happy.
Yeah, probably the ground will dictate who runs here, Trushan or Strad, but I'll go with Coltrane as well. I think he was held out the back in the race at Goodwood, probably stepping up a level, and they were unsure how he'd do. He ran quite well. I thought he travelled like the best horse in the race, and he had a lot of ground to make up.
Then he realised that to run really fast and got sick.
I think you'll see him closer to the pace, and Rob Horney will do the business.
Oh, funny he was on Stradivarius.
The 3 o'clock at York, the Al Besti Equiworld, due by Gimcrack Stakes, Group 2, 6 furlongs.
We can't just be called Ladbroke Chase or something.
Colts and fillies and the whole shebang. Royal Scotsman is favoured at 5-2. Marshman, who was really impressive last weekend, 7-2. Noble Style, who I think Tom likes, or is it you?
Oh, no, like? Jesus Christ, not me.
7-2. Persian Force, 5-1. Al Carrar, 7-1. Clear Point, 8-1. The Antarctic, 8-1. And then 10-1 Bar. Some of these obviously probably won't run. But Andrew, who do you think is going to win the Gimcrack Stakes?
A bit of Marshman, Dave.
He's very impressive on Saturday.
The eye test was passed with flying colours. Took my eye on his debut before even that. Missed the break completely. Still managed to get up and win. Different story next time out. Was mad keen up in front. Let bowl along, won by 8 lengths. Unbelievably impressive. If that performance is good, not too good to be true, geez, he could be a very, very good horse. Look, needs to settle a bit more. Still green as grass, but yeah, there was everything you like about him. He finished after pulling racing very keenly. Finished his race out well. You have 2 ways of riding him already. He dropped out the back. He has no choice because he missed the break in the first race. He was out in the front in the second race. You can do either or. You know he's capable of doing it from any position. Don't.
A bit like Rob Horney.
Yeah. Who is Rob Horney on him? No. But yeah, this could be a very, very interesting filly. Marshman, no, probably Geldon. Not Geldon.
He was a bay colt by Harry Angel, who was mad as fuck and really fast.
Yeah, so Marshman for me at 7-2. I think it's fair price on visually what he's done, but yeah, Roy Scotsman is, I think, a worthy favourite after his last win, but I think Marshman could be something decent.
Tom?
Look, I'd be a massive fan of Noble's style. I do really like Millstream, who he beat at Newmarket. I was really impressed with him on his debut, and he came out and beat him at Newmarket. So, yeah, I'd be a fan of Noble's style going into it. And the other one I'd give a shout out to is a horse that's had loads of races. Well, not loads of races, but he's had 5 runs now as a 2-year-old. Is Chateau of Andrew Balding's. I still think there's a big race in him. Yeah, I do. I think there's a big race in him at some stage, and it could be this.
Yeah, I really like Royal Scotsman, but I'm gonna side with Andrew and go with Marshman as well. Usually when Carl Burke has a decent horse, they're backed for maidens if they think they're going to win. He wasn't backed at all the first day, raced terribly, still got up and looked like it was just all easy, and it's like, what the hell am I doing?
It's just like he was out for the buzz.
And then the last day, I think it was Friday, not Saturday. Richard Fahey had the favourite. That was backed off the boards. Again, Marshman was let drift out and he won by, I think, 9 lengths, and the thing just couldn't go, nothing could go as fast as. So I'll be majorly surprised if Royal Scotsman can give him, if he runs, £3, because I think he'll just do the same again. It'll be out the gate, exactly like Harry Angel used to do. He reminds me of Harry Angel. Remember, he was just unraceable. But when he was on form, there was no catching.
It's quite fast.
So Marshman, he's about the best of the Hardy Angels I've seen all summer. 3:35 at York, the main race of the whole meeting, bar the Ebor, but I would say this is probably the main race. The Coolmore Wooden Bassett Nunthorpe Stakes, Group 1, 5 furlongs, really fast. Royal Acclaim is favourite at 6-4. The Platinum Queen, the 2-year-old, is 11-4. 8 stone is all she's carrying.
Who?
The Platinum Queen.
Jesus.
8 stone because she's 2-year-old. Holly Doyle, no weights. Cadem is 8-1.
She has to lose weight.
Yeah, she probably does, I'd say. Highfield Princess 8-1. Flotus 10-1. Emma Yaki Anna, who Tom just loves, but bad jockey on board.
Who's on him?
Nice misses though. Kevin Stott 12-1. Razel is 12-1.
Nice
Winter Power, who won it last year, is 12-1. 16-1. Bar. Tom, I like the favourite, but I think she's wicked short for this race. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Dave. Royal Acclaim has looked fantastic, but 6-4 is very, very short, and I would not be backing horses at spoiling the Nunthorpe. The Platinum Queen again, 2-year-old coming into this has looked impressive. Only has 8 stone on her back. Is 3-1. It is plenty short. I'd give Emma Yakiana a chance. Showed something a bit more like it back at Newmarket, but you'd want to be getting 20-1 plus. The one I am going to go for, and I think is a good each way bet, is Cadem. He's been in fantastic form this season. Won his last 2 now. And for me, you follow a sprinter in form coming into this. He is definitely one of those, and he's 12-1. I think he's got a good each way chance.
Andrew?
Look, it looks a really good race on paper. Like, there's a load of horses in it coming on the back for wins. Royal Acclaim, the Platinum Queen, Cadem, Highfield, Princess, Floaters, Yaki Symbol, Ebor River, all coming in on the back for a win. Decent race. Highfield Princess is the one I'd probably price she.
She's 8-1.
8. Ooh. She's on the back of a Group 1 win at Duval last week. That was a very good win. She's turned herself inside out this season. She won at York over 6 furlongs, beating Spycatcher by 2 3/4 lengths. On our last visit here, she's a mare in very, very good form. I think that's a very big price. I'll be having a bit on her each way. Interested to see if what's the name? The 2-year-old at the Platinum Queen, how she gets on a bottom weight 2-year-old. Her performance at good was to the eye unbelievable. She never looked like she was going to be beat. Royal Acclaim has been looked unbelievable as well. But I think at the price, Highfield Princess at 8-1 each way on the back of that win, and form at York as well, 2.5 length win. I'll have a bit of that price.
Yeah, like Royal Acclaim has looked very good in her races, but she's too short, 6-4, and the form of the listed race she won at York isn't great. Like, she beat Mondamage, who's a handicapper, and Corker, who's a Carl Burke handicapper. Winter Power has gone backwards, so she was in that race and didn't run up to the standard she has. Platinum Queen, as Tom said, she's carrying such little weight, but it's 2-year-old form. She's very fast, but if you're getting like 12 to 1 on a 2-year-old, then maybe, but 11 to 4 wouldn't be for me. I don't mind Highfield Princess. I think she's good. I think the race will actually suit her because a lot of these, and it happens in the Nunthorpe, so sometimes they go too fast. Years past, it went really fast, and Soul Power end up traveling up, and horses that can travel and maybe get 6 furlongs end up doing well in this race. Happened with Marsha. I think got out and beat the American horse as well.
Oh, what a day that was.
The American horse looked home for all money. One that'll be up at the pace that I'd side with is Flotus. Her form in Group 1 sprints is very good. She's behind Tenebrism last year. She ran well in the 3-year-old sprint at Ascot. She came out and won then the last day. She's very fast. She just about stays 6 furlongs, I think. So if the 5 furlong might suit her, and she can just blaze a trail and hope for the best. And then an outsider that a horse that Tom liked last year, who is definitely will stay further and got back on track last time, won a Group 1 last year as a 2-year-old, is Ebro River. I think he has a shout because he'll be able to travel behind a strong pace. He stays 6-7 furlongs. Again, he probably wants a little bit softer ground, but he's 25, maybe 33 to 1. I think he's a decent enough outsider after getting his career back on track the last day. And just think the pace of the race and how fast they'll be going will suit him. He can sit behind it and possibly get up on the line, but the main one would be Flotus.
Lovely.
Okay, we're on to Saturday, the last day. The 150, the Sky Bet and Symphony groups, Strensall Stakes, a Group 3, over a mile 2, I think it is. And Mighty Ulysses is favoured at 2 to 1. Valiant Prince 7 to 2. My Oberon 5 to 1. Cadillac 7 to 1. Owen Burrows' horse 7 to 1. And then 8 to 1 Mara. I'm not even trying to pronounce that.
Alflalia.
Andrew, who do you think is going to win this? Favourite gold price?
Who's favourite?
Mighty Ulysses.
No. 6-4 or something, is it?
2 to 1.
2 to 1. Yeah, probably look, worthy favours. Do I want to back him? No. I'm going to take a chance on Cadillac and hope for the love of God they just let this horse bowl along in front and stop trying to hold it up behind the pace. It just does way too much and uses up too much energy. Before it moved over the...
When Jesse had it, they used to do the same, tried to hold it up.
Yeah, I just leave him go.
Just better off.
Just let him go. I don't get the reason if you have this highly strung horse.
You're never going to teach him to settle.
No, you're not at this stage. Like, what is he, 4-year-old? You would have taught him how to settle by now. Let him bowl along. Let him do his own thing. He's not going to use up as much energy you fighting him to try get him to stop. Yeah, look, he won doing his last run for Jessica Harrington at Leopardstown. It hasn't worked the last 2 times. Let him bowl along. God only knows what he could do. He might bomb out. He might win by 3-4 lengths. But I think if they do leave him bowl along, there could be a huge performance in him. There's a lot of these horses in here. Look, they throw in a good run, they throw in a bad run, they throw in a good run, they throw in a bad one. It's a race that's there for the taking. I think why not try it? I take Cadillac in the hope that they're just going to let him use his exuberance and throw him out to the front and catch me if he can.
Tom?
I look, tricky race for me. The one I'm going to put up is Bashkarova. I fancied... Yeah, I do after Epsom, where I fancied Potapova, but Bashkarova is really impressive, and I was really strong on her then going into Ascot into the Duke of Cambridge Stakes, and I thought she'd win, to be honest with you, and she was a little disappointing. Finished 5th, only beaten 5 lengths. We haven't seen her since, so I'm wondering, was there maybe a little reason for that poor performance afterwards? The form of that race has been frank. Saffron Beach has come out and won in France. Funda Beauty has come out and bolted up in a listed race. Prima Bacio, Jack just give up on it. November has even come out and been placed in a Group 3, and then Canella, the horse who finished last at 50 to 1, that came out and won a listed race in Deauville. So the form is there, and I think there was maybe something a little niggle wrong. And if she could come back to form, She's 14 to 1, which I think is overpriced. And yeah, I'd be keen on her if she turns up here.
I think the favourite is a worthy favourite. I'd side with him. The only thing that worries me is Frankie, but he will always worry me nowadays on horses. So I think he's a fair enough price, 2 to 1. Should be a group class colt. Ran really well in the Group 1 at Ascot over a mile. I think stepping up in triple suit him. Ulysses, a decent horse a couple of years back, and they seem to get better with age and as they go up and trip. He's already beaten that Owen Burrows horse at Newmarket in the July Festival, and I think another step up the ladder. I like him a lot. The Skybet City of York Stakes Group 2, 7 furlongs. One of these 7 furlong races is going to have to be turned into a Group 1 at some stage. Sacred is favourite 3 to 1. Sandrine is joint favourite at 3 to 1. Sacred I just don't get anymore. Kinross 9 to 2. Al Suhail. See the mad Godolphin chap that just pulls like a lunatic. And when they settle him, he wins.
No idea.
6 to 1. Jumbie 6 to 1. How that horse has won a Group 2 is beyond me. Brad the Brief 8 to 1. Rohan 8 to 1. Pogo 10 to 1. And 12 to 1 Bar. Andrew, who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Rohan, Dave. Been holding his form well since his win at Royal Ascot. Showed the last time we run on doing his best work late at the finish. I don't think this race is as strong as the last one. Highfield Princess won that one. It was actually last weekend. It's not as strong as this one. A fast run race, suiting down to the ground. There's a few tearaways here, which I think will suit his running style. I think, was he 6 to 1? Just give or take.
He is 8 to 1.
8 to 1. Yeah, I think that's a decent price for him. Again, they go off too fast. It'll be set up nicely for him. Just needs to get the brakes. And yeah, Rohan 8 to 1. Adam Kirby was riding before, gets on grand with him. So yeah, I'd give him a chance at 8 to 1 for me.
Tom?
I am going to go with Kinross, and this is something I never, ever thought I would say. But yeah, I think Kinross has got a good chance here. Running well this season. That run at Haydock, only beating the neck into third behind Pogo, was a good run. 8th then in the Platinum Jubilee Stakes, which is a relatively good run in fairness, isn't it? 6 is probably a little sharp for him, I feel. And that was a Group 1. And then to Goodwood next time, and then Lennox Stakes, and didn't get a lot of room up the rail, and just beat by Sandrine. There's probably not a lot between the two of them, but at the prices, then I would take a chance on Kinross.
Off the top of the betting, I'd side with Sandrine. Sacred gets lots of chances, and she hasn't done it this year. I think her big chance was in the Group 1 at Ascot. And if he runs, I'll side with an outsider, Art Power, who we haven't seen since last October in the 6 furlong Group 1 at Champions Day. But he actually ran very well in that. He was 4th, and the time before he had run in the Curragh, Group 3 at the Curragh, and bolted up. So first race of the season, and maybe had some problems, but I give him a shot each way. A lot of these will run every so often and just beat each other. No one is really standout piece of form in the 7 furlong, so go with him each way. And then the last one is the Ebor, and God himself has the favourite. Orla Tyrone 6 to 1. Gassé, who I thought was really disappointing the last day, 8 to 1. Ever Present for Jesse Harrington 10 to 1. Okita Soshi 10 to 1. Yeah, it's Japanese.
He's trained in Ireland.
Hamish 14 to 1. Coltrane is in here as well, Tom, and Callum Hutchinson Rodriguez. Callum Hutchinson is jocked up with taking off £5, so it looks like he might run here. John Leaper, useless. Do not back John Leaper. 14 to 1. Candleford 14 to 1. License 14-1. Trawlerman, I nearly headbutted the fucking microphone there. 14-1.
It's a new win thing.
Ajero 14-1 and 16-1 bar. Tom, who is going to win the Ebor?
If Coltrane ran, I'd give him a hell of a good chance with Callum Hutchinson taking 5 off. Other than that, I mean, look, Earl of Tyrone is the massive eye catcher, isn't he? God has improved him no end this year. He's up to 105 now from 80 when he was with John Joseph Murphy, who is an 8% trainer in Ireland, but he's no mug anyway.
He's no god either.
He's no god, exactly. And look, as original as it is, I find it very hard to look away from Earl of Tyrone wherever he goes next.
Andrew?
I'm going to side with Ever Present for Jessica Harrington. A horse I've followed now for the last 2 or 3 years. 2 years, should I say. Came back with a 4th in the list race at Down Royal. Good blowout before that for this race. Before that was 3 for 4 in the flash. And it ran in bumpers as well for Jessica Harrington. Ran the bumper won by Sir Gerhard and ran the bumper won by Desert Dynamo. So they obviously must have thought something of it when it was a bit younger. Obviously had a few issues throughout career. As I said, comes in here on the back of a decent comeback run and listed race at Down Royal. I like when Jessica brings horses over. She doesn't bring over for the good of her health. We'll have no problem with the trip. If the ground is quick, I think I'll have an even better chance. The good ground seems to be key to him. A 10-1, I think it's been backed already this week. I think it'll hold a good chance. Another one is the top weight, Hamish, kind of the class horse in the race, has form in Bertrushan, and came back with a very good win at Chester last time. 10-1. There's no one jocked up. I presume they're going to get a claimer on it. He would have a good chance, but Ever Present, I think, is going to run a massive race at 10-1, Dave.
This is going to be way harder for God's horse Earl of Tyrone than the race he's been winning in Ireland, so I would stay away from him. I like
the power of Christ compels thee.
Hamish is a decent horse. Coltrane, very good as well, but carrying a lot of weight. And I am going to go for the 9-year-old Yukon Glen, who is a major eye catcher at Goodwood. Fingers crossed.
Your favourite jockey is going to be on him.
Fingers crossed they have a £5 claimer on him or something like that and take another little bit of weight off him, and Mr. Mulrennan is somewhere else. Because he should have won a good one, to be honest. And I backed him at 28-1 and he gave him a fucking Horlicks.
Okay. Don't talk about it.
And I think he's ran himself back into form. He's a group class horse. He's a legend. He's done his favourite a couple of times in the podcast.
What a little.
When his horse come back to form, he's a 9-year-old now. When his horse come back to form, you got to stick with him. Summering Hand, actually, we talked about it a few times. Really ran well the race on Saturday. He was very unlucky because he was drawn on the complete wrong side and managed to win his side. But I think Yukon Glen, we get around 20-1, is a really good each way bet. And I think David O'Mara's horse, Get Shorty, is decent chance as well. He keeps going up the handicap. He beat Cleveland at Ascot, then he won the big handicap at Haydock as well. Just keeps on improving, so I give him a shot. But my main one is Yukon Glen each way, and I hope to God he gets a proper good ride and gets delivered on the line. Tom, naps and next bests.
Naps and next bests. Acal is my nap. 3 o'clock at York tomorrow. Hell of a chance, I think. And my next best then is Morge each way 9-2. I think that's a cracking bet. Strong shouts for Kinross and Bashkarova each way as well, though.
Andrew.
Nap is Morge tomorrow. Next best is Highfield Princess on Friday.
My nap is Flotus on Friday, and my next best is Morge. I think she's too big a price. And that is that. Last big summer festival.
Thank you, Lord G. Thank
Cheltenham
you.
is around the corner.
So say it again.
Cheltenham is around the corner.
One more time.
Cheltenham is around the corner.
Fantastic.
The winter is coming. Points of Guinness.
It is. There was leaves on the ground when we were playing golf today.
Points of Guinness, the fire, Alfie's. Tom will be there.
Do you know what's going to happen now? We're going to have race days when we're in Alfie's, and the World Cup's going to be on.
Oh, it is actually, yeah.
It's going to be a great winter, lads.
We should look forward to this World Cup. It's bullshit where it's on, but I'm looking forward to it.
Be interesting now. Be interesting to see how many actually travel over.
What do you mean?
Travel over too.
Fans? I wouldn't anyway.
No, you land and you'd look at someone wrong and you get shot or something.
Yeah. Fucking no chance. No way would you get me at that.
Don't be surprised if the stadiums were half empty.
It'll be the first winter in a while without all that COVID fucking restriction stuff as well, wouldn't it?
Well, Dave, we're coming into winter now. COVID could pick up again. You wouldn't know.
Mickey Mouse virus is on the way.
Stop me.
Or monkeypox. Is that the new thing?
Monkeypox, yeah.
That's the new thing.
Monkeypox. Nap United to beat Liverpool Monday. Piss off, Kubo. Seriously.
It's true though.
Brazil win the World Cup. Not with Fred playing, they won't.
Here's a question for you now, and it's a Kubo-related question. Where would United finish in the Scottish Premiership?
12 points.
I'd say they'd win it by about 20 points.
Yeah, 12 points.
Go on, give us your pick for the World Cup now while we're sitting there. It's on camera. Who do you pick?
France.
France, Tom.
I think France have a lot.
My initial thought was France as well. I follow it, but I wouldn't know.
They've a lot going for them. They've Benzema, Mbappe, Griezmann, Kante, Lloris. Look, he's a decent keeper. They've a decent backline. They've a very strong team, strength and depth.
I don't even know if they qualified, but I'm going for the Germans.
They did.
The Germans are when the Germans are not on when they're not expected to win, they always do well.
It's a bad crop of Germans.
They're no bad crop of Germans.
It's a bad crop.
No bad crop of Germans.
Trying to find the betting for the World Cup.
Brazil are favourites. Brazil are 5-1 favourites, I think.
Come on, Tom, give us what price are the Germans?
The Germans, they're about 10s, I'd say.
I can't. How can I not find this? FIFA Club World Cup. Lads.
Check it, will you?
World Cup, finally. God. Give that another month or so, and all you see is World Cup betting. Brazil are 5-1, 9-2 favourites. France are 11-2, 6-1. England.
There is the lay of the year.
7-1.
There's not a hope in hell they're winning.
Germans. What are the Germans?
Harry Maguire. If you took him out, you might have a chance.
10-1.
10-1. Double figures. You heard it here first. The Germans.
Knocked out in the group stage.
They won't. They'll win it.
I
don't know what it is.
Is the group's done yet?
Yeah.
Who's in France's group?
Oh, no.
Come on, Tom. Research, man.
I got a clue.
France won't even win a game. How? Because they have Pogba playing for him. He's useless.
He's not. He's injured.
Is he?
Is class. Dave, he is class for France.
He is. He's unreal for France. It's because he is N'Golo Kante next to him.
Here's the groups now.
There
you go. Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan. Sure, that's a winning group. Germany going to win that group.
No, they won't.
They will.
Spain will beat and Costa Rica will beat them.
Where's France? Why is there no group D there?
Sorry.
France have got Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia, so they're going to walk through that one.
So just give them a free
Costa Rica and Japan. Fucking hell, that's hard.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Scotland could beat Costa Rica, for God's sake.
Wales in England's group.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Gareth Bale to upset the party.
Who else is in England's group?
Iran and the USA.
I'm going to tell you, if they keep playing Harry Maguire, they're having a hope. The camera's gone. It's about to go off.
It's not just
You're
frozen.
still there. You're about to go now.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. If you're having a bet at York, do it responsibly and hope for some nice winners. And we shall see you. I won't see you Sunday. I'm going to Spain.
Well, you are too.
Tom and Andrew will catch
see
up
you
with you
Sunday.
Sunday, and I'll see you at the end of next week.
That's if
Go
you
on,
don't get,
Brentford.
so you don't get locked up in a Spanish
Go on,
prison
Brentford.
with some Scottish fella.
Belgium are drifting to a backable price. They never win. They're a bunch of
I'm getting
bottle
suckered into that bet.
jobs.
Last
And they're
3 tournaments.
They're all too old now.
All too old. Right.
Germany.
Good luck.
Go on, the Germans.
Viva la France.